When
like,
I talk to, they're not even trading right now,
and
which I
there's
don't.
like, and I try and do the SPY daily trades, but it's like I do this like opening breakout strategy, but nothing's been happening because even if like the daily candle is up, it's like it goes up at the open and then it just literally bounces like 0.2% the whole day.
Yep. Even like Tesla, I was looking at Tesla today because I was like, oh, let me buy some calls in Tesla. It's right, kind of overdone. But here's the issue. Look at implied vol, how high it is from that. I mean, it's coming back down, but from that the
Yeah.
the tweet storm. And
Yeah.
I looked at like July calls, they were up 5% earlier today with the stock up. I mean, now it's up $10. The calls are up 11, 15%. Like, you can't make money on that.
No.
I mean, there's no juice. Like, unless you day trade weeklies, but even like that, the weeklies are up 30%. That's horrible. So you're putting all that risk on for weekly options to make 30% if you're right.
Yeah.
It's a horrible risk versus reward right now in markets. So
Yeah.
literally, I feel like I'm in Vegas. Like, I bought Oxy calls at 30 cents the other day, flipped them. Amazon calls, or they're now at 4x. I sold them at 100%. CRWV, it's another one. You know, I had a guy at the mall ask me about CoreWave back when it was like a hundo, and I was like, I don't know, it could keep going up. And now it's up 60%.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I don't know, man. I just saw this article from on today with from CNBC on Jensen Huang, and they're calling him like the real life Iron Man now. I just like,
oh, they're pumping them,
yeah, they're pumping him. I'm just that's another thing, dude. I
pumping
just
them.
feel like it's just such a yeah, it's such a inflated market, you know. It's so like especially like Nvidia. Like I guess like I don't know. I mean, I
Look at
guess
AMD too.
yeah, I guess it's really like cool. Like I mean, I use AI every day. It is cool. Apple just came out with that study saying that it's not actually like reasoning though, it's just pattern matching.
Yeah,
But
and
like
Apple took a hit.
yeah,
But
yeah, Apple sucks.
but honestly though, back in the day, if you told me Apple was selling off $5 intraday, you know what would be happening to the Nasdaq?
I know,
The
dude.
Nasdaq would be getting crushed.
I know.
Meanwhile, the market's, right here, not even budging when Apple's down. Or if you look at the SPOOs, I mean, the SPOOs is not even going down and Apple's down. So it's like nothing makes sense right now in the market. And it's like, what are we supposed to do besides, I can't use the G word because I got banned from YouTube, but what are we supposed to do besides roll the dice on some, earnings or cheap plays and try to, literally win the slot machine? I mean, that's all I feel like the stock market is right now. Is a slot machine. So,
Yeah, I just don't know what the people are, I mean, I think we're all waiting for like some trade resolution, but I guess like the big like rhetorical question is like what's it waiting for to do something, whether it's up or down? But I suppose it's trade war resolution. I suppose it's I don't know. I guess that's really the only thing that the bond market resolution, if we figure out if interest rates are going to come down or not. If we
and and if you told me that Newsom wants to get arrested and
yeah.
everything's going on in LA,
Yeah.
market is still going vertical.
Yeah.
Like,
If Trump arrests Bass and Newsom.
and the market's still catching a bid despite, what CNBC, or they would say, is political turmoil and all this other jazz. I mean, just nothing matters right now. So it's it's a circus out in the markets. But there's my issue is, Bitcoin flagging right near all-time highs. My issue is this though. It's like, what do you do with the VIX at under 17?
Yeah. I don't know.
You can't buy. Like, so I thought about today buying the VIX, right? That was my like, all right,
Thesis.
I'm gonna hedge and buy the VIX, buy
Yeah.
VIX call spreads. And then
Yeah.
I thought to myself, like, okay, if I do, and let's say the markets do go down a little bit, is the VIX really going to pop, or is it just going to be a decaying asset like it always is? And what would it take? Because the market here is right near all-time highs. So do I wait to buy the VIX now, or do I wait till we hit new highs? And it's like that's the question I asked myself today. I don't know.
You said you were trying to buy it?
Yeah, I was gonna buy VIX calls. So I
Yeah.
priced out VIX, VXX, UVXY calls,
Yeah.
and I just said, you know what? There's do I really want to buy decaying assets? I also looked at SPY puts. So, this is a good example, especially if you're new and you don't trade vol. So the VIX is up today, right? I mean, it's up 1%. We were up 5% earlier. Now, obviously, there's no fear in market, so there's no more volatility. The VIX calls are down 8% when the VIX is up 1%.
Yeah.
So what happens if the VIX just slowly continues to go down? These calls are just going to get eroded away. So I didn't. I didn't buy VIX calls or UVXY or VXX, but like look at UVXY calls. They're down 15, 10, 12% today. How do you make money on that? The VIX is up, UVXY is down 2%. I don't know. I
Yeah. What I know, I never actually dived in. I don't know, maybe you know about this. Trading it closer to like Vixpiration, like entering positions closer to the to either end of the Vixpiration. Is there any like alpha there?
Yeah, but here's the thing though, you have to be perfect on your timing.
Yeah.
So you basically are playing that VIX is going to like right before expiration, you go buy VIX calls for like pennies. But if you don't have a huge move that day or in the next day or two, then you just lose your full amount. Because even if the VIX calls go in the money, they go down,
Right. Right.
right? Because it's an index. So you technically need to buy like the super far out the money calls as possible to make money in the VIX or do call spreads. I also looked at SPY puts for July.
I have not been able to find anything that I really loved on
So I looked at the 600, 580. I mean, you're risking $5.50 to make, $20 technically. But I mean, that's a shitty ROI too. Like, but if you just buy the 580 puts, you spend 535 on them and it doesn't move, then, what do you do? Like even today, the market's flat on the day. They're down 10%.
yeah. What was
So,
that week? No, month. Month and a
yeah.
month or so.
So there's really no way to make money unless you're day trading, I feel like, or selling premium, but you're not getting much premium to sell. That's my other issue right now is why I'm so bitter of the market. Yeah,
Yeah.
credit spreads, but you really can't get any credit, you know? That's the issue. Oh yeah, Deanna, before we get rolling here, I do got to read this disclaimer. Hold on. Oh yeah, good job, Lauren. Yeah, so really, it's literally selling vol on SPX is the only thing working. All right, I got to read this from Deanna. All right, so if you're new, we got to cover our butts. This is straight from the source. So give me 1 second. I'm going to put this into a Google document and I got to read this. Sorry, I was trading the markets before we hopped on, so obviously I was unprepared today. All
Just
right.
doing the work, ladies and gentlemen, doing the real work.
Yeah, and since I let go of my helper, I got to do everything. All right. So before we talk about anything involving the stock market, take a minute to read this. We are not financial advisors. The content presented is for education purposes only and merely, I don't even know what this word is. Cites our own personal opinions. In order to make the best financial decision that suits your own needs, you must conduct your own research and seek the advice of a licensed financial advisor if necessary. Oh, Lord. No, all investments involve some risk, and there is no guarantee that we'll be successful in making savings or investing money, nor is there a guarantee that you won't experience any loss when investing. Always remember to make decisions and do your own research. Well, that's a risk disclaimer.
Now that's a
Yeah.
risk disclaimer there,
Yeah.
baby.
That is again, we're trying to get the pieces to this together. You know, Alex, I got banned from YouTube for gambling, for saying the word gambling on.
Recently?
Yeah, I got banned for a week.
Damn, man.
I got banned for a week for saying I'm gambling, buying some, calls, some earnings, stuff like that. So,
It's crazy that they
and they
found that
banned
one
me.
word. That's crazy they found that one word, man. That's some AI. That's bullish for Nvidia. Lance getting banned from one word on YouTube. That's bullish for Nvidia. They're using some Nvidia GPUs to monitor all that stuff.
Well, no, we actually my assistant ran through, like, we didn't violate any codes. And she's like, well, at the end of the day, you use the word gambling, and maybe that went against their policy. But that's really all I could think of.
Jeez. Are you,
Yeah.
is it just temporary?
Yeah, my band's up, but I
Nice.
was banned for a week. Look at Tesla go here. Yeah, Tesla, almost 30 points off the lows. And then you wonder why vol is so expensive. Well, going back to that, that Goldman note, most shorted stocks. There you go, right there.
Yeah.
Just, unless you have a huge account to buy stock, I mean, or you want to buy like a $40 call option, really can't play it right now. So,
Yeah. I mean, for small account, I tell a lot of my people who want to trade Tesla or Netflix, it's like TSLL is an option. You could do TSLL.
yeah, you could do TSLL. That's it. Yeah, that's an option. And it's not bad too if you do stock because it's so cheap at 11 bucks or so. So
Yeah.
that's a good option, actually. Yeah, that's a good,
Getting,
good,
getting some
good
Zoom.
alternative.
Yeah, getting Zoom users doing crushing it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, good job, man. Everyone's doing the 4 p.m. payout plan. I
Yeah.
didn't even do it today. I passed because I thought we were not going to. I mean, to give you an example, Alex, the implied move today for the S&P, 6,000 point instrument. Guess how much it was this morning?
Just like percentage wise,
Point wise.
I don't know, 50, 100.
You would think like 50, right? It was under 20 points.
No way, that's crazy.
But if you think about it, so I was like, that's insane, right? I mean, I thought that was peanuts this morning. So we moved exactly 21 points, and now where do we open here? We've literally moved 4 points all day.
That's crazy.
So, you think it's crazy that, there's no implied move, and why is the VIX so bad? I mean, we've literally have moved 4 point, I mean, 21 points today total, but 4 points from the open. Like,
Dude, I mean, if it's a melt up, it's like a slow ass melt up.
oh,
And then
yeah.
it's gonna be like a glacial. Like what if we get to like 7,000, but it's just like 2 years of this? That would be horrible.
I think that's the goal though. I think the goal is of the administration and everyone is to pump the market higher, right? Because everyone,
Yeah.
like China, all the Besant, all the Fed speakers, everyone's just pumping stocks higher. I mean, it's all the crappy companies too, like no real earnings and stuff.
Well, do you
But
see ASTS, dude? That's ASTS is just like soaring. We recommended that like a
oh yeah,
long time ago, like 2 years ago, and but like even just recently, like on the back of the Tesla news, I think ASTS, people were like, oh well, what's an alternative to Tesla? Uh, Satellite ASTS. There you go.
yeah,
Or what's it? Not Tesla, but SpaceX. But it's like,
yes.
yeah, it's like, dude, I don't know. ASTS has, I think they reported like 50K in revenue last quarter. It was something like I tell people this, it's like there's literally it's a really traded stock and people trade it a lot, but there's local plumbing businesses with more revenue than ASTS.
Well, that's what a lot of people, when I say like junky stocks, are like, why are you buying bad companies or like companies on the verge of bankruptcy and no real earnings? It's like, well, those are the stocks going up the most. Like I closed out MBIS today. It's an AI stock with no earnings, nothing, just went public. and the
Right.
stock's up like 4x in 6 months. And it's like it's everything's a pump and dump. Like have you been watching the Martin Shkreli with QBTS?
No, I was going to ask you about Circle though too after this.
Well, go to Martin Shkreli's YouTube. He's been shorting the quantum stocks because they're all, no earnings,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
did see that on X. Yeah, he said he was short that company.
Yeah, and he's down a few million
Yeah. Are people
because
trying to squeeze him or just the autist online trying to squeeze him? Yeah.
yeah, he shorted it, I think like at $7, $6, and now it's 18, so he's down.
Makes you wonder why you would admit that. It seems like you're just calling
Yeah.
uh attention to it.
Yeah, same with INQ, all of them. Rigetti. I
Yeah.
mean, he's, you know, I don't want to say blown out because I don't know his financial background, but he got that one biotech firm right. That was a fraud. Uh,
Yeah, I forget what they were called.
yeah, me too. But that's the only one, and now he's short all these stocks, and he's just getting crushed because all the. I mean, like CoreWave, you could buy this IPO on Robinhood, and it was you were losing money under. I think it was $44, and now it's 160.
That's crazy. When did they
Yeah,
IPO? That was like
it was
started.
March. Yeah, March.
Yeah,
At 40, and I think the IPO, I think they were at 44, 46 on Robinhood, you could buy it. So they had a bust of an IPO.
that's crazy.
And got down to 37 and then look at it go.
Yeah. Yeah, Karen, we're talking about Martin Shkreli. Martin Shkreli is a sort of like a Wolf of Wall Street villainous character. Uh, he
He's
was,
the pharma bro, the guy
yeah.
who raised drug prices, rich New York kid. He raised it from 14 to 750 a pill. He's in the inventing Anna, or what's her name? The Anna, that con woman show as well. Uh,
Oh, I
Anna
don't know.
Dolby.
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The con artist. The girl from this girl plays her from Ozark.
Oh,
She
nice,
plays her. Yeah.
nice.
I could
Uh,
go down the rabbit hole about the cons in this industry.
yeah, dude. I mean, what are all the ones you never find out either? That's the thing. You found out about Madoff, Shkreli, Theranos. Someone's mentioned Theranos in the chat. It's like there's a ton that you don't know. Dude,
Yeah.
the big one could be the talking about CoreWeave, the round tripping with NVIDIA and CoreWeave, and there's I forget the
But
other
they're
two.
cooking the books.
Yeah, right. Because it's
Yeah.
like CoreWeave buys NVIDIA's GPUs, and then NVIDIA invests in CoreWeave, and then they have more money to buy NVIDIA's GPUs, and then NVIDIA invests in CoreWeave. It's just like
It's the same with Supermicro. Remember they had all the accounting fraud in NVIDIA and nothing ever happened?
right.
It
Yeah. What did happen? They were about to be delisted. I don't know
Nothing.
where'd that
Nothing.
go.
Speaking of cons, RK says, what are your thoughts on MSTR? He's another grifter. Michael
Yeah,
Saylor.
Sailor.
He's
Yeah.
probably one of the biggest out there. And I mean, he's got a he did the media rounds here to pump the stock at 500, and then it shed half its value. But this is another pump play. And when you're in a bull market, though, you could get away with pumps. In a bear market, the pumps become more uh, the you find more roaches in bear markets and rats and stuff. Bull markets, you don't even look at them.
Right. Nobody cares. Everybody's making money. It's all good.
Right. But
Yeah.
when the bear markets hit, then that's when you have investor lawsuits
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
find all the bull. I mean, remember Webull? Remember that IPO from $10 to $80?
It's
Yeah, this was just recent.
pretty good action.
Yeah.
That was early April.
Yeah, another pump and dump.
I just there's some companies, man, that I just don't know why they're public. Etsy, for instance. Why is Etsy a public company? And there's just they should just be private companies. I just don't see they don't have the
But
growth. they don't have the growth to consistently be growing on the equities market. I don't get it.
But this is the story though. So Etsy dead in the water. So now with the market, it goes, what can we buy? That's horrible. I mean, look at the squeeze. Stock's up 20 bucks
Yeah.
in like 2 weeks. So it's like again, everyone's saying like, oh, it's a good stock, a good company. This is not the market for that. It's find the worst company in the world and it will go up. If you want a good stock, look, buy Coca-Cola and you have dead money for 4 months, right? Or McDonald's, oh, good company hasn't moved anything in almost a year. The
Yeah.
market does not care about that. It's can you add AI, crypto to your name? If so, you're going to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Speaking of space, the I spoke with a aerospace engineer who's like a huge high up for we'll say a Bezos company.
Hmm.
And he said all this like the Katy Perry, the little space tour they do,
Is it
that
fake?
it's all front for the back end stuff of the space economy that they're building for. And he said like they're so ahead of all these other companies, like the whole infrastructure in space, like they're working on that now. Just that
Who? Amazon?
I can't say the name of the company, but
A Bezos affiliated company? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, he said it's insane and how they work with other huge defense companies to uh for their we'll say their adventure up in space. So that market has just gotten insane. And mostly because obviously the precious metals that that they
Yeah.
want to fix.
There's some what Lunar's a ticker, a space ticker. What's that ticker? L
Oh yeah,
Lunar.
it's yeah, that one fell on the moon.
Intuitive Machines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was getting ooh, look at that. That fell off hard.
Yeah, they fell on the moon. You
Yeah.
heard MSTR can pump it because he's not regulated by the SEC because it's considered a commodity. I believe it. That I do. I believe it. Do we have any earnings today? I haven't. I know we have Oracle and what do we have? Oracle and Adobe later in the week, but I don't
No,
think we have any today,
we
do
don't
we?
have any we don't have any today.
Look at Oracle. That stock is pumped
Games
hard.
GameStop on Tuesday.
GameStop?
On Tuesday, yeah, after the
Oh,
close.
really? We've wow. There's been no option paper. They just pumped this one with crypto. Again, a 20% pump and you know,
Nothing to show for it. It's just
I know.
right. It's like right back to where it was.
That's yeah, it's the market, man. Pump it for a day or two and the next day it goes straight down. I
Yeah,
looked at Costco today, it was the same thing. $1,000 company, pump and then right back down.
yeah. I mean, dude, that's why you're talking about Apple. Apple, I don't know, man. Apple is one. I don't think the markets care about Apple anymore, which is bad for Apple. Two, Apple's bad for Apple, man. They do not do their new WWC event. Like I don't know if you saw
Horrible.
the new what is it called? Glass smart, I
Yeah,
don't know, glass something.
horrible.
Horrible looking. They're dead in the water. They're gonna be like a big commodity. I mean, they're not going anywhere, but they're not. Yeah, Melissa, you're right. Lack of innovation. Nothing
Yeah.
but
Apple's dead. I mean, when you have Apple not even moving the market anymore, no one cares about it. Apple's going to be like an IBM.
yeah, exactly.
Well, IBM's not chart wise, but or like an Intel. It's going to be just
Yeah,
dead money.
IBM is actually able maybe to use like artificial intelligence and AI agents, and get it as a
Yeah, recently, yeah.
no. Apple doesn't. I mean,
It's
it's
dead.
opening up. It's so bad at AI. It's opening up its platform to other AIs, which is like anti Apple's whole ecosystem.
Yeah, I saw that Sam Altman, some new startup is using them and all this other stuff, and like the OpenAI is going to be the new Apple, basically, if they ever go public, which hopefully soon, because I've put over $500,000 in OpenAI, SpaceX, Neuralink, and all these other private companies the past few months. So that's been my whole investment book lately.
Nice. Nice. Well, when the singularity comes, man, you'll be with Elon. There's the market close. You'll be with Elon and Sam in the doomsday bunkers.
That I will. That I will. Wow. So if you're part of the 4 p.m. payout plan, guess what happened today, gang? Open, close at the exact same price. So perfect. Alex, we actually did a video on iron condors today, so I
Mhm.
can teach them tomorrow in the training we're having. I mean, we did exactly, I mean, perfect for an iron condor. But just to give you an idea, like this has been the stock market lately. So if you're like, hey, Lance, you've been complaining about the market's not doing anything, 1,000%. But what you can do is, let me get this lined up. What you can do when the market is doing nothing, and probably what has been the best strategy I've been doing, because it's very hard to trade with the market not moving. What you can do is this. And me and Alex are gonna go into details on it right now.
Yes,
Good
sir.
job, Joshua. Good job, Don. 250